This Pope gives me hope. That's a sticker that is available on sale. This Pope gives me hope. Because we have reached a stage in which lots of people in the church had lost hope. And people were abandoning the church in big numbers. That's the time this Pope came in with bringing hope, emphasizing tenderness and hope. There are two words that are also in this document very strongly coming out. 2013 has been the year of Pope Francis. The Time magazine has declared him the Man of the Year, and the Chinese Media Forum votes Pope Francis as the key man of the year 2013. Because he has been in all the important areas of life, he has been talking about and writing about in different places and times. Coming from South America, with being very much in touch with the poor there, so we can see that has a tremendous impact on his life, his message and his way of life. A deeply caring and passionate person who speaks from the heart. Now, the Evangelii Gaudium is nearly 58,000 words, the notes. His first Apostolic Exhortation, he bemoans inequality, poverty and violence in the world. One of the strongest thrusts there is an attack on the economic system that we are practicing today, because that eliminates the poor, that marginalizes the poor, and the majority are in the world today in the world are poor. Therefore, that is one of the things that he comes back again and again in this document. The strongest attack of the Pope is on the free markets that defend trickle-down theories. Now, this document has an introduction and 5 chapters. The introduction 1 to 18, a joy ever new, a joy which is shared. He says today the great danger is in the consumeristic world is that there is no longer room for others, for the poor, and God's voice is no longer heard. In that context, he says we must have a personal, Pope invites all Christians to a renewed personal encounter with Christ. That has to become the source of our evangelical work. Then he quotes from the Old Testament and the New Testament many passages which talk about the joy of the Messianic times. And therefore he says, proclaiming Christ is the joyful event in our life. Francis prefers a church which is bruised, hurting and dirty because it has been out on the streets. The fact that so many of our brothers and sisters do not know Christ and are not living by His life needs to disturb us. That is chapter 1. Chapter 2, amid the crisis of communal commitment. So here in this chapter he focuses on the context much more sharply. Then he says everybody needs to be watchful scrutiny of the signs of the times, and proposes an evangelical discernment. So first he speaks about certain factors which weaken our missionary impulse. Some challenges of today's world. Our world is experiencing a turning point in history due to the advances in so many fields, while majority of people are suffering. They are barely able to live. They do not have the means of livelihood. Diseases are spreading and many people are gripped by fear. Therefore, he talks about a number of no to an economy of exclusion. We have to say no to an economy of exclusion and inequality. Such an economy kills.